What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Active Reload. Father and Son Gaming Podcast right here on Active Reload Gaming. I literally just got home. I was stuck in traffic for an hour. I'm tired. Anyways, hello to each and every one of you. Cheers to Shemplu. Hello, Bombay. Welcome in. Like I said, this is the Father and Son Gaming Podcast right here on Active Reload Gaming. My name is Kobe, aka Kobe127. That is Kevin, aka Octane699. Dad, happy new console? Question mark launch day.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get cracking into this. I've seen a couple reviews. I've agreed with some of them. I've disagreed with a lot of them.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to get into this as well, but I do want to just kind of preface everything before we go into this unboxing. First impressions. I do work for Xbox. None of my opinions reflect my employers. That being said, I also did work on this device a little bit in my job. So take my opinion with the biggest grain of salt you can. But none of my opinions or POV of this reflect the company in any way. This is my own personal opinion, but just throwing that out there right now for context. That being said, like I said, we're here. It's a new launch day. We're a whole new PC handheld, console handheld. This is an Xbox, as we have been saying for the longest time. And this is the ROG Xbox Ally X. But before we start doing the unboxings and first impressions, just want to remind each and every one of you that you can follow us on all of our socials that you can see right up here on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We are at Active Reload Gaming. On Twitter or X and Twitch, we are at Active Rel. That is with an REL, Active Rel Gaming. Up here in the top left corner is our Discord QR code. Feel free to scan it, join the Discord, chat with us, chat with the community that we are trying to build, and overall just have a good old time. That being said, we are live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific with the Father and Son Gaming Podcast. Right after this, we are not going to be live, but my dad and I are going to do a recording of the next podcast because I'm going to be out of town all next week. But we're going to have something very special for you guys coming up on Monday. I'm really excited for this one. This is the Redacted that we've talked about in the schedule, but I'm excited to get into that podcast as we go into it. Dad, I know you've been chomping at the bits all day. I've told you to not open this thing. You have a whole camera set up for the unboxing. But before we even do that, we're going to do the unboxing together. So for everyone, if you want to switch to your camera, that is pointing down. But for everyone in the chat, this is the ROG Xbox Ally X. This is the newest device made in partnership with Asus and Xbox. As the marketing and has said, this is an Xbox. ROG and Xbox have been touting this as a handheld console. And just so you all know, in terms of software, this is a Windows 11 device. However, with this device, it is running an Xbox software on it. It is called the Xbox Full Screen Mode. And the Xbox Full Screen Mode pretty much wants to simplify the ROG Ally experience. Dad, you have the original ROG Ally. I also have the original ROG Ally. What was your issues with it?
Well, I think the original ROG Ally, and I'll bring it out when we kind of compare it. One, just like a lot of the other handhelds that I have, I got hand fatigue. I thought hand fatigue was a big thing with these. And the biggest thing I didn't like about it is, again, I bought it thinking it would simplify the way that I would be able to get on my Xbox games, but you had a it was very clunky going through Armor Crate to get into it, and I didn't like it. I didn't think it was smooth. I thought it was very glitchy, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't really play much with it, and I didn't take it many places because of that.
How did you feel about the ergonomics of it?
The ergonomics, that's where I was getting a lot of the hand fatigue. I just felt that the way that it fit in my hand, even though it's not heavy, it would give me hand cramps, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't like the ergonomics in it.
This compared to the Steam Deck, because you also have a Steam Deck.
Yes.
How do you feel about the OG Ally versus the Steam Deck? The Steam Deck was one of the first ones to do this whole PC handheld. And it's in terms of software, the Steam Deck has always been the best, in my opinion, because it is a very straightforward device. But there is some issues with it where, with the Steam Deck, you are running on a Linux-based system, and Linux-based systems don't allow for anti-cheat software. So some of the multiplayer games just cannot run on the Steam Deck. But how have you felt about the Steam Deck as a PC handheld?
When the Steam Deck came out, I thought it was probably the best handheld out there for the pure fact that it was running Steam library. Everything was always focused around console based stuff. And the thing I liked about it was Steam played very well. I did like the hand fatigue, as you could kind of see here. It curled and fit around your hands a little bit better, so I got less hand fatigue. But the thing I did not like about this was, you had to kind of backdoor emulate the Xbox. It's not even the Xbox store. It was almost your Xbox Game Pass into it. So it was super, super clunky to get to it. And half the time that, again, I'm air quoting emulating to get into it, I did not like the way that played. So one, it was great for my Steam library, but it didn't satisfy me when I wanted to play my Xbox stuff. It just did not satisfy me. So part of the reason why I didn't go after the OLED was purely because of that. I didn't find myself. I'm weird. There's certain games I play. I'm very myopic when I'm playing a game. For those of you that have been following our podcast, not till recent that I start playing multiple games on multiple platforms. So when this came out, I was still myopic with my play. So if I was playing something on my Xbox, it really it sat in the case and didn't come out. And that's why I thought I would go with this when I was playing the Ally, when I was playing my Xbox games.
Yeah, you really had to do a dual partition if you wanted to get Windows on there. Now, lastly, I know people are waiting for the unboxing, but the handheld that you have talked about being the most comfortable is the PS Portal.
Yes.
Why? This isn't a native machine. This is just a remote play machine for everyone. But this, you always said, is the most comfortable, and I want to use this as the point of reference as we move into the Ally X.
Well, again, just to make sure, it is a remote machine. If you have a good enough connection and you have PlayStation Plus, you can actually play PlayStation Plus off of this. When it first came out, it was only a remote machine. And then they made software because everybody complained about it. But 100% to date, this is by far the most comfortable feeling handheld because it's like holding a remote. We all have done long sessions where we've played, any of our consoles for, 3, 4, 5+ hours at a time, and hand fatigue just didn't come into play. And when you take, let me grab it. When you took their controller and basically split the controller, it's still the same exact feel as holding their controller, and you split that into a handheld. This is why it made the Portal such a great feel and zero hand fatigue out of it. And before you get onto it, we also have the Switch 2, which, I bought the Switch 2. And if you see here, you could get, these extenders to kind of help with the hand fatigue. And this is what I've been playing on a lot of my travels, flights out to LA, flights out to, Seattle to see Kobe and so forth. And I can tell you, even with these, the first time I got this when it came out because we went out to LA to, the IGN and to Summer Game
Fest.
And I didn't have these little, grips on it. And on the way out, 5.5 hour flight, 5 hour flight for me to LA, I couldn't play it the whole time. My hands were cramping. When we were at one of the conventions, I don't know if it was IGN or wherever, we actually ended up buying this and put this on. And on the way back, I played a little bit longer, but it still gave me a lot of hand fatigue.
Cherry Tomato Boy in the chat says, "Would you trust using it to pilot a submarine?" That is a great joke.
No.
Hopefully Japan is going good for you. But
Yes, I hope
without
Japan.
further
I hope you're
ado,
liking Japan. And
without
you,
further
you still didn't let me send you my list that I need from over there.
but without further ado, I have seen the Ally X in person. I played with it before. This is your first time seeing it in person
Yes.
and holding it. So let's start unboxing it. I want to get your first impressions, but let's get into the unboxing experience. There we go. Seal is now broken for me. Oh, there goes your camera. You're getting violent over there. You're
I
too
am.
excited.
I'm getting too excited.
It's always like Christmas Day.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Here we go. Let's crack this.
It is a very similar box compared to the OG Ally.
Yes.
As well.
All right. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we got 2 seals on it.
Yep. And we also have the premium case to show everyone as well once that is done. All right.
All right. This is what you see.
There you go. You are now into it.
This is what you see. And for those of you that don't know, Kobe has no sense of smell. And he was born without a sense of smell. But let me tell you, this is gaming greatness in the scent. It's that plastic that you get. So basically what you're seeing here is there's a flap on the top that's giving you, let me just turn it over here so I can see. It's giving you where the charging ports are in all languages. And it shows you where the on button is. So let's pull this.
All right. Mine is out.
I am out right now. Obviously, like all the handhelds, it's giving you all of the wraps of too much plastic killing the planet here. So,
all right. Here is mine. This is what it looks like out of the box. I want your opinion when you first hold it. I want you to tell me what you feel.
Oh my goodness. I can just tell you that, and I'm not saying this because I think the Portal, I told you, was the best feeling. This smokes the feeling of the Portal.
Yeah, it's so, and for everyone to see, one big design difference that they did. Can you pull out the OG Ally?
Yeah,
for me?
the screen is slant.
The screen is correct. Also, Cherry Tomato Boy says it's Nintendo Nation here. That is true. But so I want you to show the camera and compare. The screen now is on an angle, and this definitely helps with a viewing situation as you're kind of, maybe sitting here and it's just maybe a little bit bad posture. But yeah, how do you feel about the weight of this thing? Because I said before, this is very light.
You know what?
Like it is not as heavy as it feels. And I want you to do an experiment. Hold the Switch 2 and you tell me which one you think feels heavier. Because I had the thing where I felt the Switch 2 felt a little bit heavier.
The Switch 2 is definitely heavier. I thought, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with the thickness of this. I mean, look at the difference in thickness. I thought this thing was going to be super heavy, and it is surprisingly light. And let me tell you, when you grab it by the actual controller handles, it does not feel heavy at all. It really feels super light. Because to me, I always felt that this was the lightest because it's really just a screen. But let me tell you that I don't really think that this is that much heavier than just the Portal screen. But
yeah. Shemflu in the chat does say would be cool if there was a white version or other colors as well, clear. And funny enough, there is a white version. It is the lesser option of the two. The white one is $600. It doesn't have the AI chip that this one has, but it is the power of the Steam Deck. So that's what they were aiming for.
If I'm not mistaken, Shemflu, that the chip that is in the Steam Deck is the same chip that is in the white lower Ally.
And it's just a little bit beefier. It's the upgraded chip. It accepts, I think, 5 more watts than what the Steam Deck chip currently has. So I think the white version, it can accept up to in the TDP 20 watts to the chip. The Ally X, I believe, goes up to 30 watts to the chip when you put it on turbo mode. Bombay says the grips on it look good with how it splits from the bottom of the screen like that. Yeah, the grip. So the grips, like, so if anyone uses an Xbox controller, I'm gonna pull mine out right here because it's right next to me. So this is just a normal Xbox controller, simple, feels great in the hands. This Ally X is the closest I think you can get to feeling like an Xbox controller with the screen in the middle at this size with this power. I don't think it gets better than this in terms of the ergonomics.
Here's a little thing that I didn't realize till you brought it out. I wish, because I'm playing on Elites, I wish they would have put this rubber grip of the Elite on here, and this thing would have felt super premium. And I'll tell you what else. And you know, part of my beef with the original Ally was I am a heavy thumb. I call myself a heavy thumb. And I don't like how loose, and I don't want to say chintzy, but like they're too loose for me. Part of the reason why I buy the Elites is because you can tighten the tension on this. I can tell you with all honesty, these are almost Xbox controller tension sticks. The sticks feel really, really good and solid in these. And the buttons feel almost, well, I'm not even going to say almost. They are identical to an Xbox controller buttons. And the other thing, because when I look at all my handhelds, I like the grip placement to grab the L1, you know, L2, R1, R2. I don't have to adjust my hands at all. Other ones, I got to kind of, the Switch does that. This is, I think, where the hand fatigue comes in with the Switch. When I'm holding this, if you look at how your hand holds this, and I have to get to the buttons, like your hands have to get into a weird position. I'm doing it this way. You have to get, like, when you're holding it, I have to kind of switch my hands, and I got bigger hands, and you got to switch it. And I think that's part of the fatigue where, and I'll give PlayStation its props. I feel that they had the L1, L2, you know, R1, L2 in the proper position too, because I don't have to move my hands. And I think their sticks are just as good as this new ROG.
Shemplu brings it up, and I do want to do this next. Boot it up as we keep talking about the
hardware.
Now,
the thing that I did hear about booting it up, it is a PC, that it's not, you know, basically a plug and play, that there's going to be updates to it and everything else. So
you also might need to plug it in. Mine is not booting up at the moment.
Mine's not booting up either. I don't know that I'm going to be able to.
Well, you can show the rest of what's in the box.
Okay, while you're plugging that in, let's kind of go through the boxes. I told you this was the top that kind of gave you an idea of what where to turn it on, where to plug it in all different. So now we're kind of getting down to, I'm assuming that this is going to be the plug.
Yes.
So you unplug it. It actually comes with a nice wall plug. You don't see that anymore. They're all USB, even USB-C to USB-C anymore. So it's a pretty chunky plug. I did read some specs where I think it said, did it take 2 hours to fully, from zero to full, I think, to complete it. The other thing, just as we're talking about this, when you get to the black version of the Ally to the white version, one of the bigger differences is in the capacity of storage. This has a 1 terabyte, and the other one has, what is it, 512? 512. Yes. And again, nothing upsets me more than when you have to constantly take off games. I'm a game hoarder when it comes to saves. So I like that we have the one.
I'm also booting it on for everyone right now on my side of the screen.
And what I'm opening up here, you're just seeing a lot of the manuals. You know, you have your reg cards, so forth and so on. And then let me see. I don't know if this last one's anything. No, it's just that. And then that's the end of it. Again, premium case. I like that they're using cardboard. I like that it's recycled stuff. Again, I always like that it comes in premium packaging. For $1,000, they should have some premium packaging with it. So, with it. So let's see.
Yeah, why don't you crack open the premium carrying case next?
All right. And what we got here was it's from Xbox with the Asus. It's the premium carrying case. Throw this back. Wow, does this look nice? I like the branding on it. Kind of see it is a soft shell, but it's one of the stiffer soft shells. So it's not, I wouldn't in any way, shape, or form be afraid to throw this into a backpack. I do like this. That look at the nice little Xbox branding and Asus branding, but I do like that it has a pouch on the back. Because a lot of
the pouch is nice.
A lot of them don't give you, the storage to carry. Again, if you're going to throw in, your charger and stuff, because I have a case for everything. Like this was, this was my Steam Deck case, and as you can see, it had this little mesh, but it bubbles out here, and I was always afraid that I would lose the charger and so forth.
Yeah, Bombay, it does have RGB thumbsticks, and you can customize the colors of this right here. And also with the newer models, they have opted for the better thumbstick. So I think the white one is Hall Effects, and this one is like an upgraded Hall Effects stick that I was reading. Also, as we read 24 gigabytes of RAM in this, and with the new Xbox experience, the software and the OS. Oh, screen reader is yelling at me. Let me mute this. So, and with the 24 gigabytes RAM, what they do is whenever you're running games, it goes into Windows and kills processes that are not needed to free up space. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start doing the setup here. This is, the normal Windows 11 setup, unfortunately, but they have streamlined the process where now you don't need to use the touchscreen. Everything can be controlled via the controller. The issue with the first ROG Ally and the software that was running is the controller support wasn't great. You needed to do so much of it on the touchscreen, which really added to the frustration of the ROG Ally. And on top of that, you also needed to use ARM Recreate a lot. The whole thing with this is once you boot it up, you're going to go directly into the new Xbox full screen experience. Now, obviously, it is a Windows PC. So if you wanted, don't show your Wi-Fi password. My Wi-Fi password is back up. So the thing is, you are no, that is the wrong Wi-Fi. Let me go into this one. The cool thing is, because it's a Windows device, you are able to just have it set to boot to Steam, Epic Games Launcher, whatever you decide. Now, on top of that, they do have the new the task switcher, I believe what it is called. And with the task switcher is you can just quickly on the fly switch between Steam, Epic Games Launcher, or whatever. And also in the Xbox full screen experience, it catalogs all the games that you have between all your storefronts. So it adds to just the ease of use. That is what they're trying to do. So I'm going to continue to set
just
this up.
To let you know with that is, yes, you will see your Steam stuff within this, but when you click it, it still takes the process of going and opening up your Steam and launching it from there. You are not launching it from the Xbox software. So
That is correct.
So you do that. But it's funny you talk about, with the original Ally, I had to buy a case. It was a big case because of what Kobe's talking about. I used to carry around a little Logitech keyboard because it was just too impossible to type in all your stuff all the time. So I would use the keyboard to type it in and then play my game. It got a little cumbersome.
Now, obviously, you've gotten more into PC gaming as time has went on. And obviously, what you're seeing right here, and go ahead, you can, I don't know if you can boot up your Ally at the moment, but do you think going through the Windows updates right now, do you think this is a turnoff to people as some people just want to go straight into the console itself? Or do you think getting through the unnecessary updates first, like, do you think this is going to be a hindrance? Or do you think
here's the thing
fine?
at the end of the day, and this is where people got to realize, again, it's a handheld PC. So I don't know of any PC that you build, buy, or steal that you're not going to have to put it in and put some updates in. So
Yeah.
again, I watched some reviews and I thought people are a little too harsh. It's a PC, people. At the end of the day, give it a break. You're going to have to update it. There's very rarely do you even get a console out of the box anymore that you've got to update. You buy a brand new game, you put the thing in and you got to update it. Everything's got to update. Just relax, people. It's a setup process. I hate
Yeah.
when people get so petty about things. Like, if that's the worst thing that you're going to deal with this console, you're ahead of the game.
Also, the good thing is what I like, they added a pretty, and so now if you can pull out your Ally X, wait, Shimpus, I don't know if it's an issue for you, but your video, both of yours, is vertically flipped, so all the text comes out backwards. Probably not an issue for you.
When I'm holding it this way, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't see it flipped at all. Interesting. Lady says, haha, just relax, people.
I don't see.
But can you pull out your new Ally?
Yes.
Sorry, horizontally. Oh, okay. Let me see. I could probably go and mirror my stuff. ROG shows up as gore. How does this look now on my end? So if you can see on my dad's side or right here, the cool thing that they have done, and obviously the Steam Deck also does this, but the Xbox button will boot you right into the Xbox experience. But now they have this button right here, which goes into the ARM Recreate experience, where you're able to customize the power efficiency of the Ally X, and you are able to go in and tell the chip how much power it is allowed to consume, and which can boost or reduce frame rates with your games. So I'm still going through the Windows process, name the device, getting it
As you
all
go through there, let me
updated.
just finish. This comes with a big booklet. Why I've never seen a case come with a thick book like that, but I'm always eager to see, because there's cases that I don't like the way the sticks sit in. And oh, this is looking nice, because you'll be able to sit this in and strap it in as well. And then we have some stick indentations here that it fits over nice. Yeah, this is a great case. This is definitely a case that I think is worth buying the extra premium, because we've all purchased some cases that I think were not worth it. And like I said, it's a soft hard shell, if that makes sense.
So you can probably flip back to your other camera right now, as and I'm gonna just flip this up for the time being. Oh, I'm super zoomed in from this. Let me bring this back.
Trust me, the people want to see the handheld versus my face.
Well, I'm waiting for this to update, then we're gonna start going into more of the handheld. Let me flip this back. So we do have to address at least the one point of contention. I also know my other light went out because I had to unplug something to plug in the Ally, and that's the one that suffered the consequence. The price. What do you feel about it?
So far, well,
So
again,
there's two models. There's the $600, and this in the US, this thing right here is $1,000. So
here's the thing, and again,
this is a very premium device.
I've read up on, you know, the smaller one, and you know, I'm not the only one that said this. I've seen it with other people, but I would have said it that if you're going to buy the smaller one, go buy for cheaper. Go buy the Steam Deck. It's just, again, you could still play and emulate in. I want to make sure that you understand when I say emulate, you're not emulating the Xbox games. You have to weirdly backdoor, you know, jailbreak-ish emulate in the Xbox Game Pass. So once you get in and you do that, then you can play it. So if you're going to buy one of these and you can only afford the smaller version, don't spend your money. Go buy you can actually get the OLED one for almost the same price. But if you're really looking to get into some premium handheld, what I feel of this so far, I would spend it. But here's the thing, and I think it was somebody in the chat. It might even have been Bombay. We were talking about it. Handhelds aren't for everybody. Like if you're not traveling, if you don't have, you know, good connection, depending on which one you have, you know, it really is a waste of money, in my opinion. If you are one to sit down and you sit in front of your TV or you sit in front of your computer screen, don't waste the money. But
Now, my question to you is, I want to go back. So you were talking about the white Ally versus the Steam Deck, and you say just buy a Steam Deck. If someone wants to also play Xbox games, do you like, so if their library is not just in Steam and they do have Game Pass, would you still recommend just going with the Steam Deck?
For the price and the better screen, yes, because it's a hassle to get it, again, emulated, jailbroken, however you want to look at it, but I would still do that. Now, just to let you know about this, the new Ally X here is when it comes to your Xbox games, it doesn't play your backlogs. So it's still only, you know, the Xbox Anywhere, you know, those type of games. So if you think you're going to get this and say, wow, I'm going to go back and play my backlog Xbox 360 games, right now you're not going to. But if you're going to use it to play, you know, the new games that come out and you want them mobilely, then it's perfect. So again, the best advice I can give to anybody that's even remotely thinking about this is do your homework. You know, really sit down and think about how you want to utilize it, where you want to utilize it, and how much time you're going to really have to utilize it. And I think that'll help you pick the direction of what handheld's best for you, if any, and what price point's best for you and what you want to do with it. So again, that's where I kind of go with this. It's not for everybody. I mean, the price tag itself at $1,000.
Rampage is in the chat. Hola, Rampage. We did just do the whole unboxing, but Dad, if you want to flip your camera back to the thing, because he says nonchalantly showing it on the screen. What a flex! We can both show. I'm in the updating process right now. Right here.
Yeah, we did a full unboxing of it. This is mine. I didn't charge mine yet. The grips in, we went through everything. Again, I don't want to repeat it much for anybody else, but you know, this is the Portal. I think it's comparable to the feel of the Portal. When it comes to the original Ally, it's head and shoulders for the way it feels above that. When it comes to the Switch 2, I think the Switch 2 out of all of these gives me the most hand fatigue. And when it comes to the Steam Deck, I think is the third best when you look at the ergonomics on it for hand fatigue, I think it's the third best. I am at the point where I think the new Ally X is the best feeling. The Portal was the second. This is the third. I would take the original Ally ergonomics hand feel over the Switch 2. The Switch 2 I can't play for more than an hour. I get such hand cramps from it. So that's kind of Rampage in a nutshell of what we went over. And Kobe right now is charging his up and updating it to kind of get into.
It's a long update
It is.
process.
It's
It's downloading the whole new Xbox software. Bombay in the chat asked, does this run games native or is it all streamed? Both. You can download all the Xbox Game Pass PC games. You can also download any game that is Xbox Play Anywhere that you have bought. You can also download all your Steam games, all your Epic games that you own in the launcher. You can also stream GeForce Experience. You can remote play from this device into your client if you're doing Steam. So yeah, it pretty much does it all. It is a mobile PC.
And just for Rampage coming in while we're waiting for that, we did go over as big and as thick as this is. It's probably the thickest out of all the handhelds I have. It's up there with almost being the lightest. You wouldn't think how chunky this is. The only thing I think is lighter is the Portal, and because the Portal is really a screen. The only part that's in the Portal is you can kind of see this little white portion here. That's where the PC portion in it is. The rest of it's just the screen. But it's not much lighter than that. It's real comparable. So you wouldn't think with the thickness of this that it would be this light.
Got a few comments. So Rampage is not gonna lie, really starting to question if I'm even a gamer after all that. Also looks pretty neat. Then Bombay says it's Windows, all updates takes forever. True. Shampoo says Bombay, it's basically a powerful laptop. It's using AMD's fastest laptop processor, and that is true. I think this is called the Z2 AI. It's a very fast chip. And then Dad, can you show the ports that are currently on the Ally? Right now, I see two USB-Cs right on here. Top.
It's your volume control here. It looks like a mini HDMI out. That's what it looks like.
No, this is for your micro SD card expansion.
Oh, wow. That doesn't even look like a micro SD.
Yeah, so it does have micro SD support. You can expand the storage if you so desire. There is also a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for anyone who still has the wired headphones. There are two paddles on the back of the device as well that you can macro to something else. But yeah, I think there is one 4.0 USB-C Thunderbolt port, and there is a normal 3.1 USB-C port as well. This thing is also dockable. They are selling a dock that you can buy, and you can dock it to an external monitor and play it like that. Kind of like
the only
Switch.
Thing is, well, again, when you're looking at something this powerful, even if you dock it, it's still only putting out 1080p.
Shampoo says, and the iGPU on it is almost top of the AMD line, if I recall. Then it says two USB-C. What would you use the second one for? I wonder. I assume, one could be for mouse, one could be for keyboard. If you dock it, then there's the whole thing. Cherry Tomato Boy says, are the handles ribbed?
No. Again, they do have a little bit of ribbing here, but that's where I said before, like when I hold my Elite, because it feels just like this. But I wish they would have put the rubber that they put on the Elite, and this thing would have been like my favorite, handheld ever if they would have put that rubber on there. But it is, you can see it in the front, it's not, but in the back they do have a little bit of ribbing.
It's actually a very smooth feeling surface. But like Shampoo said earlier, D-Grip has the attachments that you can put on. There are cases that you can already buy. I think there's kill switch cases they can put on this to kind of give that feeling. Bombay says, so you could USB-C dock it and HDMI it to a TV and play it like a Switch on the TV still.
You can. I've actually seen demos today of people doing that. But that's where I said, just remember, it's only putting out 1080p. It's not like your
Yeah,
Series X.
we didn't even go over the screen yet. Before we quickly do that, Shemplu says seems like the main body is thicker than the Steam
It
Deck.
is.
It is.
It is. That's why I said, but surprisingly, the Steam Deck is a lot heavier than this. When you look at the thickness of these, it is definitely thicker than the Steam Deck. But I'm telling you, the Steam Deck is a lot heavier than this is. It's just bizarre, but you can really see the difference in thickness.
I do want to go over the screen specs. This is a 7-inch 1080p 120 hertz IPS screen. It's not OLED. I do kind of wish it was OLED. I feel like at this kind of price point, an OLED would be nice. But that being said, this device does support up to 120 frames per second on the screen natively if the game can go up to that. So Shemplu says, did you notice that the lower part of the screen is raised as compared to the Steam Deck? Yes, that is by design. They have, from the original Ally and everything else, they have raised the screen on an angle. And I think it's to help alleviate, weird neck angles when you're sitting down. I mean, even just like holding it here, I feel like it has a more natural viewing angle per se. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I like the way that it's angled. And I'm trying to give you an idea, like it's the only one that really angles that way. And it's 100% by design. And when I'm sitting with it like this, and you guys can't really see it, but it's putting the screen at an angle, and I'm telling you, it's back to that hand fatigue. I don't have to tilt it like this for me to get a good angle, or tilt it like this. The natural holding of it, the screen is at a perfect angle for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this update is taking forever, so I don't think we're going to be able to get to the actually showing the software, what it's going to look like right now, unless the Windows decides to speed up, but it is Windows.
I wanted to unbox this myself this afternoon and let him unbox the thing, but they all yelled at me, so.
We did yell at him. We told him that you need to do it live because this was his holiday present we got for him early. So yeah, I mean, we are going to come back to the handheld conversation on October 27th. We're going to be going into handhelds and VR. We're going to have DJ Soto live back on podcast to kind of talk about it. And we're going to at least have 2 weeks with this thing. And we're going to be able to actually fully break down how we feel about the handheld, how it's running the games, what games have you played, and so forth. I mean, I know this is an IPS screen, but realistically, the screen doesn't look half bad. Like, it's pretty nice so far. Yeah, do you have any other thoughts about the Ally X as you just kind of hold it for the first time?
Again, I can tell holding it that the hand fatigue. I'm telling you, I can't stress enough. It feels no different than me holding this. It's just that my hands are here instead of here, because they got that shape and that hand molding identical. Like that's what I loved about the Portal. But I honestly, holding this, I do not feel that it's any different than the feel that you get of holding this controller. And again, to be fair, that's where I said back to when you hold the Portal and you look at their controller, it's identical. So like I don't want to. I'm not that person that I'm a Sony pony or an Xbox boy. Like I give props where everything's at, and to me, this handheld feels just as good as this, and I think the new Ally X feels just as good as this. So I can see long gaming sessions with this without having hand fatigue, and I think it's going to be perfect for me. Now, again, we're going to be back to, let's see how everything runs. And from what I've seen before, again, going back and compared to this, I did not like this because everything had to go through the armory crate, which was very clunky. It was actually annoying at times, where I'm excited to see the new what is the new Xbox OS? What are they calling it?
Is the Xbox full screen experience.
And just so you're aware, the way that I compare it of what I've seen is it's almost like big screen in Steam, when you go into big screen mode. That's almost what this is. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for big screen mode, I don't know that I would have ever gotten into Steam as much as I did, because I'm a controller, a player. I am not a keyboard mouse guy. So that big screen allowed a lot of games to have controller support. So getting into the big screen with this of the Xbox version, I think it's going to be perfect.
Before we close out, Bombay does ask, what will the first game you want to play on it? Final Sentence, maybe? I am not going to be playing Final Sentence on this thing. That demo ends on the 20th. My first game I'm planning on playing is Keeper, the new game by Double Fine, because in a couple of weeks we're going to be reviewing that and Outer Worlds 2. So I'm going to, on my trip this week, I'm going to try to crank out a lot of Keeper on this thing. That was going to be the first game that you're playing.
Now, the first game that I try versus the first game that I play. First game I'm going to try is going to be Gears Reloaded. Of course.
Of course you are.
It has to be. After that, I'll just see, because I want to see, because they will do a lot of cross progression play. So I have Battlefield running in my Xbox Series X right now. So after I try my Gears, I will try to finish, because I'm almost halfway done the campaign in Battlefield. I'll try to see how Battlefield, something brand new.
Battlefield 6 will not so for Battlefield 6 is not Xbox Play Anywhere. You would need to buy the game.
That's right. I'd still download it. That's fine with it. I'd like to see how it runs on it, because it's something new.
Yeah, I have been seeing a lot of frame rate tests, and apparently Battlefield has been running at a good 120 frames on this thing. So it's running very well. But yeah, I'm excited to start getting into this more, start playing with it more, and start just using it, hopefully becoming a daily driver in some sense, because it's nice. I do like the feel of it. It is very premium, and I'm excited to just get more exposure with it. And like I said, we're going to start talking about this more on October 27th. Once we have DJ Soto live back on the podcast, we're going to go deep diving into the current state of virtual reality, current state of handhelds, very similar markets. Who's this for? Does this work for you? We're going to get into a whole conversation. Any final thoughts?
No. When we end here, the first thing I'm going to do is go plug this thing in and start charging it up.
There you go. All right. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining today for our first impressions and unboxing of the ROG Xbox Ally X. Geez, naming gets so damn hard. So with that, I would like to remind each and every one of you, you can follow us on all of our socials right here on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We are at Active Reload Gaming. On Twitter and Twitch, we are at Active Rel. That is with an REL, Active Rel Gaming. Join our Discord right up here. We'll probably be chatting more about the Ally as we keep using it. So feel free to ping us any questions as we get more exposure to it. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the Discord. Are you going to be picking up this thing? Are you even interested? Are handhelds for you? Let's have a conversation as we start to barrel towards October 27th. Dad, hope you like it. And we can start playing with it as soon as this podcast ends. See everyone later. Peace all.